We will now finish our tiles. There are two ways that you can finish your tile. One is adding feet at the base for your tile. Here's the tile that I'm going to be adding feet to. And I flip it over to the back side where your name should be. And I take some extra clay that I got from the recycling bucket and I start to just roll a small ball about that size. About the size of a quarter is a good size. And I roll 4 of them. And it's really important that you make sure each ball is the same size. So if it's not quite the same size, you can take clay away or you can add clay. So I roll 4 of them that are equal in size, approximately equal. And there we go. And then you must slip and score your feet for your tile. So you have to slip and score on the tile itself in each corner and on the feet. So I go back and forth with my pencil, really rough it up. This is called scoring again. I want to rough it up. I want to have those clay boogers because that's going to act like my glue between my clay. So I roughed up all 4 corners, made a mess, and then I'm going to rough up each foot. Really rough it up. It's nice to make a crisscross pattern, so go up and down first and then side to side. That really roughs it up nicely. And then you're going to add your slip, the clay and water mixture. We'll be adding that, wet it down. Don't use too much, but probably a couple fingerfuls, and put it on each side. Don't forget to put it on both the tile and the feet. And press. Press too hard, but press fairly firmly so it's nice and secure. And then we'll take our Q-tip, dip it in the slip again, and smooth out the seam. So you can see a seam between the feet and the tile. So we'll smooth that out. That's going to make sure that it's a really strong bond between the foot and the tile, because we don't want our feet to break off. If they break off, then it's not going to be quite what we wanted. By adding feet to our tile, we make our tiles functional. It could be a candle holder, a trivet like a pot holder. It could also be a coaster. And there's our first foot. Then I'll add the rest of my feet the same way. Do every single foot the exact same. I'm kind of flattening out the foot as I press down, and that's fine. That'll make it nice and level. Alright, now you'll see when I stand it up, it doesn't stand quite level because it's still wet clay. So make sure to flip it over so it's on its front. You have the feet sticking up. Now another way to make or to finish our tiles is to add holes so you can hang it on the wall. This makes it less functional. It's more just a work of art then. So if you're more interested in just hanging it on the wall, I would add holes. You can add holes in 2 different ways, using a paintbrush or a pencil. I prefer the paintbrush. It seems to get a cleaner hole. It's not as large either. And what you'll first do is just make a small indent where you'd like your hole in case you want to change your mind. It shouldn't be very close to the edge. It should be probably at least ½ inch from the edge. And go ahead and poke through. Alright, so I poke through, you can see through it. Make sure you can see through them, because if you can't, then it's going to be fired and we can't do anything once it's fired. I do have some clay boogers on the back though, and that's going to scratch up my wall if I try and hang it, so I'll smooth out those clay boogers, flatten them out, use a little bit of slip, my finger, flatten it out. Looks good. Make sure to write your name again if it's hard to read. That's also very important. And then you're going to place it on the cart to dry. You'll see I have some already stacked up. Those are clay tiles that are already dry, but since yours aren't quite dry, I would let them just lay flat on their back if you have the feet, and then the ones with the holes can just lay on the cart as they are.